Gary, we just had some technical difficulties. We weren't streaming, and now we are.
I'm not talking to nobody. Thanks, Jill.
It helped that we're live. We were talking to ourselves for the last 20 minutes.
But we good
Anyway,
entertainment.
folks, sorry for that, but now welcome back to the 2024 Rick Rowsell Classic, and we're in the N2 here. Our feature game is Team Tipple and Team Thomas. Just going to update the score here now. And scores 2-0 Tipple after the first end, and we're currently in the second end here.
Like something's going to happen this time.
So Thomas is gone. Tipple has something going here. Thomas is going to try to open up the front to make sure he can score one.
One lonely rock, that yellow.
He's still only halfway to the end here, so there's loads of rocks to come. But Thomas doesn't like those staggered guards.
Probably.
So Thomas only gets one of the guards out. You're going to see Tipple lay a guard on this now on that left-hand side, and try to block access. I think you put the guard. I think Thomas will still peel him.
Oh, he has to.
Because, like you said, right now his scoring area is a 1-foot circle, and if you're trying to get multiple points, that's really not enough room.
No, his lonely yellow at the back of the house, or back of the 4-foot, is not in a great position either, because it's going nowhere but out.
So they're just playing the guard here. The line looks pretty good. It comes up there nice at the end. And even if it over curls in this spot a hair, it's fine. Because if Jeff Thomas, for any reason, decided to come around and freeze on the pin, the Team Tipple still had access to their own blue rock to try to slash it in.
Jeff is trying to run his own yellow in there now, see if he can get some of that blue stuff in.
Well, that hole, you might be able to get to the hole, but I don't know if you can make the double or not. So this shot has a twofold purpose. One, open up the front, and two, try to catch something going through the rings. You don't have to hit it exactly perfect to have a good shot here. You got a little bit of leeway.
Straight peel by the look of it now. Uh-oh. Be another one up there now in a minute.
Need to hit that on the other side of the rock. So they've had some issues so far in two ends where they've been playing takeouts and not hitting them on the correct side.
No, it seemed to have
I don't know if that's a throwing issue or they're still trying to figure out where to put the broom in terms of icing for it.
It's hard to see the rock. The rock is going away from us at least, so we don't quite see it to be able to see how it.
Tipple's just going to play a guard here now, and Thomas is going to have to try to run it through again. The thing about it, last time Thomas was hitting his own guard back through. Now he's going to have to be taking a run at a Tipple rock. Now it makes it a bit tougher.
Yeah, he's in tough in this end here now. The lonely yellow is in jeopardy.
Well, that yellow is only right now is only helping Team Tipple. Now we mentioned that when Rob Henderson threw it there on the second rock at the end, that it wasn't helping Thomas. It was only going to help Tipple, and now they're frozen to it with a rock in front of it again. The line here looks pretty good, but it needs to stop.
Yeah, deeper it goes, the easier to be.
It's coming in a bit tighter than they want it. Still not a bad shot.
No.
But you might be able to get all three blues moving here now. If you hit that top one they just threw across the second blue, so the top one goes out, the second one comes straight back, you may unlock the freeze and kill two blues, unlock the freeze, even though they'll still be shot rock and probably lying two.
Jeff is ignoring it and going to try and freeze to the 4-foot That blue one in the back of the
Well,
bottom there.
the danger with this now, with multiple rocks to come, if he doesn't make this now and they're not shot rock, another guard goes out there, and now Thomas is going to be in tough to get one.
Here comes the lefty swoop. Got it out there.
They're working on it now. They started sweeping that as soon as you let it go.
Out there far enough. You get in there now.
Got a lot of line. No,
The weight comes off it.
the line's getting is pretty good there now, but now it's. I don't know if he's going to get in there.
Power and them brushes.
No,
No, not bad. Better than the situation he was in before.
it's still not good. They're just going to put a guard
Oh,
on
yeah.
this.
Have a wall of granite in front of his rocks.
You don't need to hit it. Just draw. If you go trying to hit that, you're just looking for trouble.
Yeah, you're just
need
going
to put a
to.
guard. It doesn't need to be tight. 3-4 feet out front. Yeah, where he's tapping his broom is perfect.
Parker, just drop it out there in front and keep the
Well,
situation in the house under control as it is, and he scores a point.
what you're doing now is if they drop that guard out where he tapped his broom, you're forcing Thomas to play that run through on the guard and
Yeah,
try to change the angles and open something up, because now he's going to be if they put this guard out there, Thomas is thinking, I just need to have a shot to try to score one.
And like I tell my junior teams, when you got a hammer, make sure you have a path to the 4 foot. Hopefully you'll be able to score your one in a desperate situation.
Yeah, you're right about that, Gary.
There's a lot of wisdom back there.
Well, this is a big shot if Tipple's looking at a potential steal situation here, because they're lying to one's on the pin and one's just off the pin. So it's a potential steal of 2. So this is an important shot.
Yeah, Jeff doesn't want to give up 2 here now.
Absolutely not. Put him down 4. That means he would have to outscore Tipple by 5 in 6 ends.
That's right. That's going to be tough.
That's a lot. So they got to get this to bend here. I think it's just going to come enough. That's a.
Yeah, but still,
That's
the hole
not
is there.
bad.
The hole is there to go through them, fire them blues away. Yeah, he's looking at it.
Just need if that came a couple of inches more, it wouldn't be there.
That wouldn't be there. Close
But
to center.
there's 2 shots here. He can play the out turn through the hole and tap the yellow, or he can come through the hole and the in turn and try to go blue, 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 and get rid of 2 blue, unlock the freeze, and maybe spill it over in the open.
Neither option's a guarantee.
So I'm not sure what
He's going for the front one, is he?
I think with that ice, I think he's playing through the hole to cross the yellow and tap the yellow down.
Oh, he's going
Because
that
if with
way.
just
Oh,
back 4 weight, he can chip off the top blue and still flop over into the 1
yeah,
foot.
yeah.
Now, if he does make it, he's going to give Tipple the raise on that blue one in the 12 foot, but that's fine. It's better if he makes this. Is a much better situation, but it's not an easy shot by any stretch.
No.
So shots like this, you rely on your sweepers quite a bit, because
Yeah,
you got
fast
to hold,
you-
you got to navigate, and he has to hit the yellow rock. He can't hit it too thin. So they just pretty much just got to miss the blue rock that's on the center line.
What kind of speed you thinking?
I'm thinking it's just draw weight, back 4 foot weight.
Back
So you're
4?
probably looking at somewhere around 14,
14-ish? Okay.
even 13.5.
I'll tell you in a second.
This is a weight and line shot, so
Sweepers are on it. And they're out.
it's going to be pretty close. All the curl hairs from the hog in. They need to
Yeah.
sweep that.
Going there now. You always going out. Oh, he went after the yellow. Wow. Holy cow.
They should.
That's the cagey old
And
dog.
that's what you call a beauty by skipper Jeff Thomas, or as we call him here in the Remax Center, Jed.
Or the professor.
Some people call him the professor.
Jed.
His close buddies prefer Jed.
But he took the young fellows to school on that one. That was a great shot. And now they're wondering what to do. What you do here is you let them have one and move on to your next.
Well,
game.
you could do that. Let them have one and move on. You're up one with the hammer playing 3.
I don't think any other good
But
option.
the thing about it, if he goes after trying to raise blue on the yellow, if you don't hit it right, you open it up for Jeff to get 2. So, when this end started, the goal of Tipple before the rock was thrown in the second end was probably to try to force Team Thomas to 1 to get the hammer back.
Sure.
So you're up 1 with the hammer. So play. Nothing has really changed since the start of the end. So just play the guard.
Yep.
Thomas will have, the only shot he'll have then is that in turn wide, try to chip his yellow into that pocket.
Let him have it all day.
That's a pretty tough shot. It is probably there, but there's no absolute zero margin of error. And so, he can have that. And, if he makes it great, but right now, if they put this guard on it, he'd be happy just giving Thomas 1 here.
I asked you for the speed that Jeff threw, and he threw 13.5.
Yeah.
Back in the rings.
How did I know that?
You've probably thrown it there yourself.
I probably would have thrown 12 and missed it altogether.
Swing and a miss.
uh,
Well, that looks like it's going to be a good guard in a good spot.
no, that's a perfect spot.
Yeah.
So by
Forcing
playing
Jeff
that
wide.
guard, he's telling Jeff, you can play that angle race.
All day
It's
long.
probably there, but it's extremely tough.
Mark Healy has joined the game on sheet 6.
But if anybody can play it, Jeff has made a lot of these shots in his curling career.
The one other man I know can make that.
He's played in 3 juniors, multiple Briars. He's coached Brad Guzhu for a number of years, going back to when Brad was a junior, and was his coach when he won the World Junior, and coached him up through men's. Some years he stepped back from coaching a bit and just worked with Guzhu as a technical coach, and other years he was more involved. And my own opinion, Jeff is by far the best technical coach we got on the island. And then some.
I'm proud to say that I'm a graduate of the Jeff Thomas Curling School the Jeff Thomas School of Championship Curling.
There you go.
He taught my son how to play a different game, and Stephen was better after his time, and so was I.
Yeah, I've known Jeff a long time, and we're good friends, and he's a great guy and a great person. I understand recently now he's taken up a couple of new hobbies.
Where are they?
Cross stitch and sewing.
Oh,
So I don't know where that came from. Came out right out of left field.
Well, I'm sure Candy probably introduced him.
Well, I think
look at this thing going.
This is going to be close. Got to curl a bit more, I think.
Oh,
And
and who says you can't score 2 points with your last 2
looks
rocks?
like a beauty by the skipper.
Yeah,
Now, that's what you call a skip's deuce.
that's
2 extremely tough shots. And
beauties.
Jed, the Professor Thomas, comes through and makes 2 pistols
Yeah,
for a
those
deuce to tie the game up.
they were.
Now, as the coach of the other team, junior team, that's the point where you should look at the guys and say, guys, I told you so. Don't leave it for me. And 2 great shots by Jeff Thomas.
Unreal.
Ties the game up.
Yeah, fun to watch those 2 shots.
So that might set the tone now, Gary, for the rest of the game going forward.
I wonder if he softened his handle on that, which he probably did. I'd like to see it again. If he softened his handle a little bit on that to get a bit more finish at the end.
Well, our level of technology advancements don't allow us to do a replay right now. It's probably possible, but not for you or I.
I'm sure we'll ask him.
And I'm not sure where our tech support has gone.
He's out on the ice.
Well, one of our tech supports is curling, and the other one may be home doing it remotely. I'm not sure. Our at-home tech support is Trevor Bartlett,
Okay.
who initially set it all up.
Oh, he's the man.
Trevor's a good fella. He's good with the tech stuff.
Well, that was an incredible 2 shots by Jeff. I tell many of my junior teams, you don't have to get shot rock with your second rock and guard it forever. You can score your 2 points with your last 2 rocks. Just a prime example.
Team Tipple, defend Team Tipple, they played the right call.
Oh, absolutely.
You take away the easier shot and give the other guy the harder shot, and sometimes you're going to make it, sometimes you're not, but you're not making that shot. you would make the easier shot more often than you would make that shot. They were two great shots by Jeff Thomas.
Absolutely.
And for him to score two, he had to make both of them perfectly, and he did.
And both were, curiously enough, at the same speed. He threw that one at 13.5 outside that wide line.
And Jeff is getting up in years. He's 66, but he can still throw a pretty fair rock and still make. Well, he curls now. He uses his experience.
He's got the great Dave.
And he's kept himself in pretty good physical condition over the years. Kept playing, so he's still got a bit of an edge to his game, and he can still make a ton of shots. We played together for a number of years in seniors, which for people that don't know is 50 plus. And
I would never put him past 49. You're either.
Well, he might think he's 49, but he's not. I told Jeff when he turned 66, I ran the numbers, and they were right. He's old. Well, they told me the same thing when I turned 65, but it is what it is.
Well, very, very few people doubt the wisdom of Tim Jones.
And here we are now in three, and there's a staggered guards going out front. Team Tipple is trying to take advantage now and get around. Looks like Thomas threw the guard, and then Tipple's lead.
Tipple tried to get in there.
Try to get around. About the worst place your rock can end up is if you leave a staggered guard. But then Thomas came heavy, so it leaves an opening for Tipple to get around first in front of the tee line.
And staggered guard.
Now this looks like it may be a little deep.
It's coming.
So both teams have had a chance to get around those staggered guards in front of the tee line. The first person to get around on top of the 1 foot is going to score.
Guaranteed.
Because staggered guards, I'm not a fan of them unless I'm the first person to get around. Because nothing good comes out of rocks that are staggered in front.
No, however you hit it, there's always usually one
especially when they're on the center line. So who's ever around, like I said, top of the 1 foot, behind them, are going to score.
This race here has Dave Dog on it. Coming away here now from Dave Dog, looks pretty good. You better sweep. I'm going to say you better start sweeping it there, boys. 1481, should get it in there, should right on tight. Good shot.
It's a good shot.
But a foot later would have been better
it's
for him.
Foot too long because Tipple, if he wanted to come around, could freeze it. But he's going to go out and open up the front. Yeah, I don't disagree with this call at all. There's too many rocks to come. If you play to come around, don't make it. You're
going to have another.
You're going to be in trouble.
And he got hammered.
So we need
feel the front.
So shooting for Team Tipple now. They have a spear filling in today. Jack Kinsella he's in university, has an exam. So shooting second stone for Team Tipple today is Jacob Hatcher. He's 20. He's a third-year kinesiology student at Memorial. And his curling experience, he's won 2 silver medals at under 16 and a bronze medal at the under 18. He's formerly from Stephenville, been curling about 10 years. And he says his fondest moment is giving up a steal of 7 to Parker in the under 18s in Stephenville in 2020. I don't know if I would recall that as one of my fondest moments, but again, he must remember it.
You got a good memory.
He normally plays on one of the other better junior teams here that aren't playing in this tournament for whatever reason. So that's where we have it.
I think school probably gets in the way and dictates some of the junior teams being able to participate in this tournament. Exam time I'm on right now.
Curling is not a professional sport. The top Grand Slam teams, a lot of those guys, not all of them, do make a part of their living from curling, and they're at it pretty much full time. Those top 8 or 10 teams, and you have to be at that level. They're probably professional in the true sense of the word, except they're not making millions of dollars.
No.
But my recommendation to most of these young kids is make sure you get your education. You can still curl once you get it.
Oh, yes.
But at least then you got something to fall back on when the curling is finished, because at some point you won't be able to play at that level.
I like both of your children and my children. They had good athletic careers, and they did get out of university with Plenty of education, tons of degrees, and
Well, our two, I got two engineers, and you have an engineer and a doctor.
that's right.
So, and they're all were good
They all
athletes
had-
when they were younger, and they're still doing stuff today.
Yeah,
and-
they all juggled their time in
And,
sport,
you know.
and they had to miss some sport, and they had to sacrifice some school sometimes too.
Well, I always told my two they got to make enough money to have a wing on their house for mom and dad when we get old. So,
One wing for each house.
actually, one wing for each parent. But anyway, here we are now, folks, back in end three in a 2-all tie. We just saw two beauty shots by Jeff Thomas to pick up a deuce in the second end. Now this end has become a lot more open after the double peel by Team Tipple. Jeff
You'll
Thomas trying to
continue.
replace the guard here.
They're doing a good job of putting the guard back where they need it.
They're going to run this back now, try to jiggle everything around.
Spencer will have a go at it.
These guys hit pretty well, actually. These young guys,
They throw
and
well.
you know, if you, I've been fortunate enough to coach at 8 or 9 juniors, and all the better junior teams in Canada, especially on the men's side, can all hit, and hit
not
hit
afraid.
really well.
They're not afraid of the
They can
power.
throw big weight, lightweight, and if you want to play that type of game with these top junior teams, this is going to be pretty close.
Boom, bang, bang.
Well, that looks a lot better. Still leaves the shot rock.
Still leave the shot rock, yeah.
Tipple is,
And the blue.
looks like they might have a biter,
Blue Klingon, yeah.
but and the shot rock is apparently open, so that's a good shot all around.
Yeah, Jeff will come around that now. Instead of trying to stagger that front. Yeah, he'll try and stagger that.
Well, Parker knows at some point that rock on the 1 foot got to be moved for him to score. But again, it's still halfway through the end. Well, we're just getting into the second half of the end here now with the third stones. So with Jeff Thomas, we got Warren Henderson, brother of the lead, throwing. And Warren is not as old as Jeff. And he's a retired engineer. And he's been curling 50 plus years. And most recently he was at the Masters Nationals. And he got a multiple juniors, a Briar, and a seniors nationals in. So he's been at it a long time. Lauren has always been a good player and always played back end, skipping third. And some of his fondest moments are curling with his brother, Rob, and the team, the curling trips to the various events. You know, you meet so many people over the years, and as you get older, you realize that's the highlight. Is not the win-or-loss record. Is that you know and you've met all these great people across our country.
I wonder how big his subwoofer was when he went to
Anyway,
seniors.
Lauren got the guard on it. Tipple's gone up to run back his own. Now, the thing about this shot, if you don't make this run back, getting this guard out of the way doesn't really do much for you.
No, 'cause another one's going
I'd
back.
either play the long come around or try to double off the guards.
Hammer probably did that late.
They're going to be close, though. Now, what do we know, Gary?
We don't know.
And he nuts it. Now, all of a sudden, Tipple is lying too. And he's going to force Thomas to play the hit and roll on the wide one.
Try to get rid of two of them if he
he's-
can.
He's going to try to get a roll on that. If you make the roll, you're going to be pretty close to doubling out the Blues anyway.
Yeah. It's just off the nose.
So I'm thinking to make that roll, I wouldn't be throwing full weight at it. With that ice, he might be throwing like a 9.5. I like this with like a 10, like a solid board weight, a bit more control.
I think though,
And,
you
it brings your sweepers into play.
think you'll find a little curl hard on you if you're down. You wait a little.
Well, we did a couple of games on the broadcast yesterday, and once anything got over hack weight, they used to run pretty good, and you might have got a little finish at the end. So it depends on the weight here, how much this is going to bend. If he throws full weight, I don't see it bending very much. But we're going to get a time on that now, folks, from Gary Ryan.
I expect it'll be 9.
I haven't laid a broom to it.
He's trying to carve it. That's not working. 9-6.
And roll out. That's
Yeah, you
not
needed
a
that.
good shot. You needed to at least stay there to keep Parker hitting.
Parker will come around and
Parker will
stagger.
come around.
Absolutely.
No.
Upside down dog twins.
He doesn't want to come too deep here. You come too deep into the. If he comes right in on the 1 foot, Thomas comes in and freezes right on top, and now Tipple's scoring area is extremely small to get a second point. I think if you come around here and you just drop it in top of the 8 foot. Now, Jeff can get out of it by playing an in-turn draw, but now he's going to bring 3 into play, which he's not going to want to do after just hitting that deuce.
No.
So his option then is to hit the open one in the back of the 8 foot or back of the 12 foot and give him a free draw to the paint for 2.
Let him have his 2. He puts this in a good spot. Jeff's got a decision to make.
So I don't like coming deep here. Just coming to the 8 foot.
Just underneath
Right
the
the
real
8
dip.
foot.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be completely buried. You get 3/4 under. There's no double. And if he's buried, fine.
Well, he's got a stagger. He's got his own rock in front of him now. Jeff won't try that long run. Let's see how Muscles Murphy is going to work on this one today.
And what's he hit? 90 pounds soaking wet?
I think he's 92 if you feed him.
92 after a good meal?
That's right. I'll check with his mother.
That's a big shot for Tipple here if he wants to get a deuce back.
He's a bit late. 15. There, I think that spot you mentioned there, I think that's where you ended up.
Needed any deeper than that, guys?
Up there now, boy.
Nope.
Now Jeff will just take his licks.
Jeff's going to hit the open one. He doesn't want to bring 3 into play.
He's going to take his licks and get out of Dodge.
Well,
Smart move.
he can play to come around, or he can play to freeze on that one. But again, you got to make it.
Excuse me, folks.
I tend to be a bit more when I used to skip and play competitive. I used to be a bit more aggressive. Jeff is more of a defensive-minded skip.
Yeah.
Well, I was more on the aggressive side. I would probably play to come around in the intern, or freeze the one that Tipple just threw to make his deuce tough. But again, that's just how teams tend to play, and that would be talked about by the team before the game even starts, or at the start of the season, how they're going to approach it. Neither one is right or wrong. If that's how you play, that's how you play.
The intern draw, you just saw him made down there, you knew the speed, you knew
So
the
he's giving Tipple a free draw for 2 here.
weight.
He's just going to play the same shot.
Same shot, yeah. Yeah, Jeff could have played the shot down and froze to the top of the 4 foot
Well,
there.
after just playing that draw, I would think he should be pretty close.
I was
Widen up the ice a hair,
Yeah,
so
you
you
don't
don't
want
in the
to.
front it to
You got all that.
guard into play. And again, this is a big deuce. These are the shots as a skip that you need to make. You got to make. I was told many years ago by a guy in our club, Joe Power, who's an excellent top flight player. And he said, "You want to win a lot of games? When you're skipping, you got to make the free points. Your open hits for extra points and your free draws.
Absolutely.
And that's what this shot is.
3 point, yeah.
Your free points.
You gas this through, or you come up like you kick yourself forever. Especially against a team.
Well, if you're going to skip, you got to make these. And these are team shots. So you get in the hack and you tell your sweepers, I'm just going to lay it out there. And boys, try not to
Don't drag it up.
Try not to screw it up.
Drag it up. I've done everything I can do.
They should be watching this a
Even
little
it's
closer in
cleaner.
case it starts to pick. But
It's good.
he's fine.
He's fine. Good throw.
Yeah. 2 good shots by Parker Tipple.
Jeff should be pleased. Jeff should be pleased with the way his opponents are playing because he does coach them. So.
He should. That was a good end for Tipple, and we'll update the score now and take a little 30-second reprieve.
I'll do a little walkabout.
Okay, folks, we're back here at the 2024 Rick Rowsell Classic and our feature game, Team Tipple versus Team Thomas. And we're into the fourth end, start of the fourth end here now. Tipple is up, just picked up a deuce in the third. We're up 4-2, and the hammer belongs to the Jeff Thomas squad. And we're into Leeds Rocks. Lead for Jeff Thomas is Rob Henderson, and lead on the Tipple team is Nathan Murphy. Rob Henderson has been curling a while. He's a retired engineer, same as his brother Lauren. And he's been curling since 1972. Curled mostly socially after university, but he picked up competitive in seniors in the last 5 or 6, 7 years. And Team Thomas are trying to come around the guard. But if a rock's on the center line, they're not allowed to move it off the center line until at least the 6th rock of the end. So they moved it off, so the shooter comes out of play, and the rock they hit goes back to where it was. So that's an advantage for Team Tipple right there. So now we have Jacob Hatcher, I believe, shooting. Who's filling in. Another good young player. We're just playing to come around here. Trying to keep the line right behind that guard. That looks like a beauty rock there by Hatcher. So, right now, so far in this game, outside of those 2 fabulous shots by Jeff Thomas in the second end, this game so far has been Tipple's really held most of the control into 3.5 ends here. So we're going to get an update, cross-country update on the rest of the games currently going on by our co-host Gary Ryan.
And on sheet number 1, we got Simmons versus Grattan, and they're into a 1-1 tie. On sheet number 2, Smith versus Perry, they're into a 1-1 tie. On sheet number 3, well, that's our game that we're watching, Tipple versus Thomas, top Tipple 4 versus 2 over Thomas. Sheet number 4, we got Nathan Young playing Evan Query, and we're currently, that's 3-1 for Nathan Young. Zachary French just tried a shot in off to mitigate his troubles, but he didn't quite make it, so he ended up 6-0 right now for Shoe over French. And an update on 6, Rod Felton versus Pettigrew. Rod is leading by 2-1. And that's my cross-country checkup.
Well, we just had a shot where Thomas was trying to get to the back one and just rubbed the rock in the 8 foot and went by the back one. So now there's a decision for Tipple. I think he can try to put the screws on Thomas a bit early if he throws a guard.
Tipple is keeping the pressure on the senior men's team.
I think if he comes in too tight, he may give an opening for Thomas to make some kind of double or get an advantage. I like just dropping this short. Doesn't even have to be in the rings. He just drops that 2 feet in front of the rings off the center line. Tom's got to go up and run the guards off.
You gotta, yeah. He's heading for a world of hurt again. Again, he's only got 1 lonely rock in there, and it's in a bad spot.
I mean, people got to realize these rocks aren't going to be in those same positions 5 or 6 rocks from now.
Especially ones that are glued on behind the line.
They're just playing, I believe they're playing a short here.
Indicating something like what he's seeing. Some deeper nuances.
Looks like a lot of weight here.
Yeah, and he might be trying to chaff and lie here. Oh, he's going to go.
I don't think that was the call. That's,
very much.
He missed that. Well, that was the call, fine, but I don't think that was the call. So he was quite a bit heavy here.
Yes,
That could have worked out if he was just a foot over the hog line and blocked a hole. It would have been better than doing that. That just gives an opening right back to Thomas to get through there and lock it on that blue one.
and that blue one becomes his friend.
Well, if Thomas comes down and puts it on the 1 foot in front of that blue rock. Now, the thing about it, Tipple has Thomas playing to the middle. So Thomas, what he knows now, Jeff would know, his scoring area is pretty small here.
But you know, the cagey old dog, he got 2 the last time and he didn't.
This looks like it's going to be pretty close. All the finishes at the end.
No, looks like they laid a good one down there.
Oh. Well, I don't know if they can see enough of it to get it out. I think you just come down on it enough to push the blue one back a couple of feet, just to unlock the freeze.
He could
But
probably get in there.
you can't afford to roll off. You roll off this with your shooter.
Roll
Thomas
wide.
hits and rolls back in. So you got to just, and even if you stop in the top of the 1 or top of the 12 foot or top of the 4 foot, sorry, and your second or third shot, it's fine. It blocks the path for Jeff.
Yeah. Spencer Tipple's rocking down the way there now. They're off, and it looks like he's thrown it pretty
You're
low.
going to have to go to keep the line on that one. You got Muscles Murphy working on it hard here.
Muscles Murphy's keeping it straight.
Going to be close. No, that's not a bad spot.
Not a bad spot at
If you're
all.
going to miss, that's like a pro side miss. That rock is not useful to Jeff Thomas. It's useful to the team Tipple
Parker.
because they can still promote it up.
And right now looks.
Now Jeff's looking. He wants Stu here, and he got no access in on the out turn.
Every blue rock that goes in is going to affect his yellow rock that he got on the 4.
So he knows he can't leave it there. So it's a bit of an issue.
Capital T trouble.
And if he plays on an in-turn draw to get around, they're just going to tap it up. So he got to do something. So they're going to try to cross that and roll and corner freeze the other blue one, but past that blue one, get it past the shot rock. It can bounce off the shot rock if it wants, because the shot rock is still going to be guarded by the shooter who's shooting now. So it's a shot that can be made, but it's fairly delicate.
Lefty side of the sheet.
Thing about it, if it doesn't curl enough, you're going to make the raise for Tipple.
Parker.
No, they don't have the line on it.
He's
It's
going
going
to
to
hit
hit
spinner.
blue on the blue and just
There it goes.
that was the danger. Now, Tipple's going to play a guard. Situation is not favoring Team Thomas here. That was the danger with that call. That was a tough shot.
Yeah, that was.
I don't know if he really had anything else to play. I said when Hatcher was shooting that rock, you don't have to make it perfect to be a good
No.
rock. Came up a couple feet short. It was just as good as if he made it.
Yeah.
And then Thomas made the raise for him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I hate
and
playing shots like that. I hate making a shot for the other guy.
World-
But I don't disagree with the call.
And now
Because that's all he had.
Yeah. And you wonder, could he have run it down a bit faster? But at this stage of the end now, you can't run too much.
No,
fast
they're
speed
just
down
gonna
there.
they just want to block that hole here now.
You ever get one now and everybody's happy?
Well, a steal of one here in the third end or in the fourth end is
It'll make life a little easier for Mr. Tipple.
right.
Jeff knows that. I used to think them young fellas were nice people, but they're not very nice young fellas. They like to beat you and beat you bad.
It's not nice when you're an old guy.
Good young fellas. Good young fellas. Look at this fella go.
We're just playing the guard here, Gary. Line looks pretty good, but he looks heavy. Man,
No,
that's
no,
not
no,
even
coming.
close to guard weight.
Now you're giving Jeff a
And
little bit of
that's
a ray of hope here.
That's a terrible miss. Anywhere from the hog line to the 12 foot. And that was probably back 8 foot weight. So
Extra
I mean,
weight
that's
there.
not really close. That's letting Jeff Thomas off the hook here in a big way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna
Now,
say he's looking at it.
the situation is still not good for Team Thomas, but he can get out of trouble here.
He could hit that on the corner there now, but then he can't lose that yellow one. That keeps those other two and connected to the 4-foot out of play. He moves that yellow one and off the button down back, and all of a sudden, it's getting more difficult. He has no choice. Would you try and just tap on that just a little bit?
Just going to try to unlock it.
Yeah, get that blue one open.
What I like playing a heater and try to hit in between the blue and yellow.
Yeah.
Spill the yellow on the back of the button. Will go down on the back blue one,
Back blue, yeah.
and you might be able to one shot squirt it
Kick that
over.
sideways. Yeah,
So all of a sudden now you got 3 yellows
Yeah.
in the 8-foot or 4-foot.
Yeah.
Changes the whole dynamic of the end.
Oh yeah. See how fast Lauren throws this one now?
Because this one here, if he's only trying to jiggle it around, that shot rock is probably not going to go very far, and they're trying to stay in front of it without bouncing off.
Yeah. And I mean, I expect he will come to this back blue. If this is thrown the way I think it's going to be thrown, he's going to clip that there.
The line's pretty good. They don't want to bounce off this too much.
He's not going to go very far with that one.
No, that's a good shot. That's what they were sort of looking for,
Okay.
just to change the angles. So now I still think if you're Tipple, you play a guard. You still shot rock.
Yeah, let him have it. Yep. Guard out there. Maybe by rattling that pile a little bit at that time, it knocked the yellow off the blue. Now the blue is the shot that's going to go anywhere. If it's just not right, then Jeff gets a free run to get those couple of blues out of the house. And you're right, you could be at least line 2 for sure.
So I think the indication was just a guard.
Guard for sure.
Well, even with Spencer's miss on his last rock where he came extremely deep on the guard, the situation still favors Tipple.
Absolutely.
And that's even with Lauren Henderson making what Jeff wanted him to do.
Yeah. A lot of rocks in play. I read yesterday that they're looking at the World Curling Tour, eliminating blank ends. You blank 2 ends in a row, you give up your hammer. What do you think?
I don't think for the top ends is going to make much difference.
No.
They'll just make sure they go all in for 2 in the second end, which most of them do anyway.
That's right.
So,
What means your last stone draw is so important.
yeah.
There you go, there's your guard. Now, what do you do? Where do you go over here?
Well, I think Jeff, well, if the top 2 blue are not perfectly parallel, you might be able to double both blues off and roll the shooter over, open it all up. Because right now, Jeff got no way to get in.
No. He's got that in off on his yellow, that wide yellow.
And playing that slash on that blue one,
There you go.
you might be able, but if you're ever wide, you're taking your own out.
I think there's much danger in this if he takes and try and run that one into the pile.
Well, you got a lot, as long as you hit it somewhere on the outside,
You gotta hit it.
it's going into a pile. He got nothing to lose right now.
Nope.
Because the yellow rock, their second shot stone is not going anywhere.
No.
And if it ends up being shot after this, well, so be it. You could end up with a honey here, but you got a couple of options. You just got to get it going into the pack. Shots like this, you throw a lot of weight, you just got to get it into the pack somewhere, and sometimes good things happen.
Something will happen.
That you don't see happen.
No. When the dust settles, you say, oh, didn't see that. How many times did that happen?
And if it doesn't work out quite right, it opens up maybe coming off on his next shot, something on the outside and coming in.
So the wide yellow one is there open to him as well, right? You could roll off of that one. We're going to find out here now in a second. Jeff Thomas will throw that fairly firmly. Oh, something's going to happen, folks.
I think it's too thin. No,
You got one.
doesn't really change a lot.
No, no.
Takes away that slash now. But now I think Tipple,
He's kind of wondering what he does next year too. What does he do to improve his situation?
well, right now, Jeff got no access to that yellow rock, that second shot, unless it's a straight run back.
He can't play with his guards.
He got no draw from one on the intern.
Oh, he's
He can't see the two yellow rocks.
just.
I tell you what I like.
Throwing it away.
I like the blue on the edge of the 4. If he hits a quarter of that rock, rolls the shooter right, that comes off the back yellow, might spill up the line too. Jeff got all he's going to have is that blue raise. There's nothing else to get in.
Sometimes you look at these, you overthink.
The only
this.
other shot he might have is the yellow, come off the yellow, skinny a piece of the blue, and pop and come up.
I think, like I said, any he throws anything hard here now, he's going to damage the situation. The most, like I said, is give or get one in this situation here now, and both teams are either one. You know, if Parker gives up one in this situation, he's not hurting, and Jeff gets one, or Parker gets one, he's in a good spot. So.
There's no intern shot here. All Jeff's are going to have some kind of raise, 15-foot raise, and you can't guard both of them.
No.
So that tells me make
Put it
more.
right there, just throwing a guard up there.
Well, if you hang it out, and the guard's wide open, Jeff can raise blue on the yellow. I wouldn't even throw a guard on it.
And sometimes you just throw it
Because
away.
now what the only raises you got are the two out front. I'd play on this blue one here. You could even play on the yellow one and roll over and push the blue into the back of the 1 foot.
Yeah.
But that might give Jeff something to come off. I'd like playing a thin slash on that third shot rock in off the blue and might come up to hang on for second shot. Your shooter might kill something over here and roll away. So then Jeff doesn't have nothing coming off. And all he got left is a 10-foot raise.
Whatever Parker does here now, he just should do himself no harm. So take lots of space and throw it out there and don't do yourself any harm in your shot. Let Jeff figure it out.
Right.
The decision's over here, but looks like
So, in the word of Gene Trickett, this is what you call tactics.
strategy and tactics. Strategy is what you do end to end, and the tactics is how you make it happen.
So they call just a guard. But now if you want to play guard, you want it to curl. You don't want to leave it just a shorter raise.
No. And you don't want to chip off that, open up a pass. That's for certain.
Don't want to chip it too much.
You don't want to line anything up.
It's fine.
Yeah, that didn't hurt you.
I don't think that changes the situation much.
No, no,
It
you
takes away one raise.
Could have thrown it away and get the same result. There you go.
So he's looking at that long raise. So
When you're leaving a team, an amateur team, that kind of shot, your chances of succeeding are. What would you give Jeff on this one? Out of 10? 4 out of 10, he makes it?
what's that?
What would you give Jeff on this? 4 out of 10, he makes it?
This is a tough shot.
It's there. Like I said, he could nail that under that. Boom, that thing goes flying.
Well,
This could be another one of those.
if he raises the blue right back on that top yellow, he's going to double out the two yellows
Yeah, that could happen too.
and
yeah.
could leave him with two, steal
Yeah.
the two, because that blue one's going to go back on that one.
Yeah,
That one's still going to be there, or just go back on the other blue one.
yeah, that's true back. Yeah.
So this
Could go either
particular
way.
shot is all he got to score, and he's down 2 with a potential steal looking at him in the 4th end. So he's got to try to score
Yeah,
one.
try and score.
This could go south in a hurry here.
Oh yeah, we could.
Well, even a steal of 1 here is a big deal. It puts Tipple up 3. with 4 ends to go. So he has to be outscored by 4 in 4 ends. And normally you would think he would have last rock twice.
Yeah.
So
Count your hammers.
it's,
Count your hammers.
now you can make it and get yourself, he's not scoring any more than 1 here, Jeff
I don't
Thomas.
think so. Anyway, something's going to happen. It's
Well, it
gonna
looks to
happen
me
fairly
like
soon.
blue is first, third, and fourth.
Come
And
on.
I don't think there's any triple. The angles aren't set up there for a triple.
Coming with speed, so.
No, I think it overcurled.
Oh,
Nope.
baby.
Steal of 1.
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss.
Whoosh.
Yeah, that's a big steal for team Tipple here in the 4th end. Folks, we're going to take a little reprieve again for a minute, and Gary might do a cross-country update across
do
the
a
other sheets,
cross-country.
and we'll be back in a second.
Keep watching.
And folks, we're back now with the 2024 Rick Rowsell Classic and our feature game, Team Tipple, Team Tapas. And we're into the second half of the game here now in the 5th end. Team Tipple with a 3-point lead, 5-2 over Jeff Thomas' squad. And Jeff Thomas has the hammer here in the 5th. It's been a hard-fought game so far, but so far in the first 4 ends, from my vantage point, it's been mostly Team Tipple. The 2 points that Team Thomas has on the board were 2 great rocks by the skipper in the 2nd end. So we're back in action here now in 5, and Thomas is going to try to get something going here. Trying to place a second corner guard behind the first one. Get a double guard on one side. Tipple drew to the 12-foot. He's going to try to counter that and try to bring the play into the middle of the sheet again. Thomas is going to try to get it out to the wings. He's not going to try to get all his points back in one end. He'd be happy with a deuce here. But he really needs to probably score a deuce to keep this game in reach, getting in the latter parts of the 7th and 8th end. He doesn't want to be the game. He doesn't want to be out of it before he gets to that last end. Joined again now by my broadcast buddy, Gary Ryan.
Give you an update across the sheets there now, Mark. Over on sheet 1, it's Mr. Simmons versus Team Grattan, and it's 3-1 right now for Simmons, playing after 4. Smith versus Perry on sheet 2 is 2-1 for Smith. Our game, sheet 3, 5-2 Tipple. On sheet number 4, Nathan Young versus Evan Kearley is 3-2 right now for Young after 4. There was handshakes on sheet number 5 as Team Shoe scored a couple more to make it 8-0, and Dave defeated Team French. And it's Feltham versus Pettigrew on sheet number 6, and that's currently tied at 2-2, and they're playing sheet end number 5. And that's your friendly update for the hour, or for the minute, or the end.
Gary, it's a pleasure listening to you with the cross-country update, buddy. A pleasure.
I have a voice for a face for radio. Check up.
Anyway,
Dave
Thomas,
Don.
I already mentioned before you got back, Thomas, he really needs 2 this end.
Absolutely.
He's going to start running out of ends if he only gets 1 here to get back in this game.
And I expect Team Tipple is not going to make it easy.
And, well, the game so far has gone all Tipple's way. The first half has been all Tipple.
Give him credit.
Thomas, he's fortunate he's only down 3.
Team Tipple has played well.
They've played very well.
And Jeff has played very well, and his team has played very
They've
well.
had, and a couple of times, even though Tipple's up 3, they've had a couple of minor miscues that really could have put the boots to Team Thomas
Yeah, I agree with you.
and let him off the hook a couple of times.
There he is.
And they're
penalty
still
jar.
up 3.
Yeah.
So it's been all Team Tipple in the first half of this game.
And now he's
So we'll
in.
see how Team Thomas can respond.
Team Tipple is getting rid of the guards because he don't need them now. He don't want them. He don't need them. Get rid of them.
Well, the thing about it, I don't know. He's peeling that his shooter runs to the
To the center line.
You know, he's peeling it the right way. Take it right out of play.
There you go. Get it out.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give Thomas anything to work with.
No. New guards in play now benefit Team Thomas.
Gary just had a text from a curling fan who's actually watching the broadcast. So I think we're up to 1 person watching.
And
Thank you, Mackenzie, for watching the broadcast.
Eminem, that's incredible that you're sitting there watching us today. I went over and hopefully you like the reporting on sheet number 1 where I thought Rats is playing.
She wanted to know who was playing for Team Tipple, but I've already answered her question. So that was Jacob Hatcher is filling in for Kinsella at the second stone. He has an exam.
Mackenzie, I hope you are being entertained by our melodious tones. There's a lot of wisdom out being put out here. I hope you're catching something.
Well, her boyfriend or partner or fiance
Fiance,
is playing in this event with Team James Grattan, and they're over in Ice 1, and they're currently
behind by 2.
down 3-1 to Team Simmons. So she has an interest in the game and what's going on here. So thanks for watching, Mackenzie. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast.
And the 2 pearls of wisdom being spread out here.
And she must be listening. She's coming back with something else on the text here. Oh, actually, she's on the ferry on the way to Newfoundland.
Oh, very good. I just got a message.
Couldn't let her boyfriend away for not even a week, and she had to come and watch, right? So on the ferry, I'm assuming she's probably going to stop in Corner Brook first, maybe.
I would say.
Well, that's where her family are from. And I think she got grandparents or whatever and cousins and whatnot out that way. And so, anyway, you're watching on the ferry. What else do you do on a ferry?
What else do you do on a ferry?
When it could be foggy. Maybe she can't see the length of herself, so sit down and watch curling.
And listen to me and you.
And listen to us. And we're good for a laugh. Anyway, so for this game, Jeff still doesn't have much
Just
going
trying
here.
to get one underneath that yellow one now.
And that guard is tight. Even if he gets around it, you're going to see
Oh,
Tipple play the run back. Very least get a peel on it. I don't know if this is going to get around,
We
Gary.
might get a little click off of this one, I think. And they'll be gone.
No, now you're going to see.
People will walk up
Peel
and
them
smack
now.
them. Yeah.
Yep. I think the one you hit, I'll go between the two blues.
Yeah.
And if you hit it hard enough, hit 3/4 of it, your shooter should roll 5 or 6 feet.
If he takes a blue one along the way, he really doesn't care right now.
This is Spencer Tipple, so I think you're going to be coming with the heat here.
I expect we'll see a high hard one.
The high hard one.
There he goes.
You can.
Out of the catapult.
You don't want to hit it too thin. That's all.
No, because then you get a spinner.
Then you're going to spin it in the rings.
And that's what you did.
That's what he did.
6-6. And now you just handed Jeff a gift.
But now, Jeff, he wants two. So
I know you got to get two. How do you manufacture your two out of here now?
Because that back blue rock is half in the 8 foot, Jeff can't spread these out too far. Because
If he ended up over on the
so he's
max,
probably
on
going to
the
draw
blue.
over where he tapped the room on the
Yeah,
Remax on there.
if he's on the slash there on the Remax or something, don't give him a double.
You just can't leave it high. You got to get right down to the tee line. If you leave it a little higher than the tee line, you're going to give Tipple a double right again.
Right after.
So he's just playing to draw to the tee line.
It's funny, when you reflect back and look at that rock that Spencer just threw at 6-6, That's a lot of speed.
Well, that's why you don't have to hit it perfect to get a good result.
Yeah.
You just need to hit a little more, like an extra half an inch or 3/4 of an inch on that
Yeah.
contact rock, and that yellow rock that you see on the pin would not be there.
No, absolutely. Physics of the curling stone. And this one looks like it's going close to where Jeff indicated.
You want to be behind the tee line.
Give them a double attempt.
Well, the thing about the double, you can't hit it, you can't chunk the top one because you might jam it. So, but
Straight.
if you make the double, you shouldn't be jamming it anyway.
No.
That's a fairly thin double. You're probably looking at an inch.
Yeah.
I think up 3. I think you take it on.
Absolutely. Take it on 100%. Yeah. Every yellow handle that leaves the house
If
now.
you try to play a hit and roll, then you're looking at jamming it.
Yeah. Every yellow handle now that leaves the house is a benefit to Team Tipple. Don't overlook it. It's just that.
Yeah, I think the thing here, you don't need to overthink it. If you hit the back one, that's not doing anything because then Jeff's going to freeze to it.
Yeah.
Then you got to pick the top one out without jamming it. You're still looking at giving up 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the only way to get out of giving up 2, make the double. And if you don't make it, just make sure you pick it clean. Jeff's still got to come down on that back blue one because that's shot rock.
Yeah, that's right.
So he may line you up for a double again on your next rock.
Yeah.
So you don't want to overthink it. You're up 3, play the scoreboard.
Play the scoreboard. Yeah.
And if Jeff scores, even if Thomas scores 2 here,
Oh.
3 ends to go, Tipple's up
hammered.
1 with the hammer. So you think he's going to have the hammer at least twice in
Twice.
3 ends, and he's up 1.
Ability to
So
score.
all you got to do is score 1 with the hammer, and he'll win the game.
The analytics of it all work in your favor.
Well,
once
then
get there.
you start looking at what we call scoreboard management here.
That's the tendency, right? To overthrow. Throw it a bit too hard. And, ooh, baby.
And that's how you make the doubles.
That's how you make a
There you
double.
go.
Yeah.
Now Thomas is back to playing a freeze, and
Yeah.
hope it jams. So there you go. But that's the way the game's gone for Jeff Thomas. Tipple and them haven't missed a whole lot.
Would you try and
A
freeze
couple of
that?
times when they have not made the primary call, they've missed it on the pro side.
Yeah.
They've only had 1 or 2 misses I thought were caused them some grief.
That one that went heavy.
Well, that end the Hatcher had one that went heavy, and Spencer Tipple had one that went.
Yes, he
long.
did so too.
So
yes,
they had
he
2,
did.
and they were both in the same end.
Yeah.
And they end up still stealing 1. The rest of the game, they played very well. Outside of those 2 shots, they haven't really missed a whole lot.
Both teams have played well. At this level, it's
It's not that
One
Team
miss.
Thomas has played bad, Gary.
No,
It's
I
just
know.
that couple feet heavy, foot short,
I
hair
remember.
wide, just little tiny things. So,
I remember.
they're trying to
playing-
right the ship now in the second half of the game.
Oh,
But this is going to be a tough deuce. They got to make a good freeze and hope
You
there's
got to freeze it, not right
there's a
on there.
misjudgment on Team Tipple's part because even with a perfect freeze here,
He'll
they can
blast
throw
it.
enough weight to blast it
Oh,
out.
they'll blast it. Yeah. remember playing Jeff Thomas in the flipper one time when he used to use his white glove for release. We were playing a pretty good game against him, and all of a sudden we missed a couple of shots. And I thought I was in a snowstorm. Rocks rained down on us like we never knew they were coming at us.
Anyway, this one got a lot of line, but it's starting to work over there now.
They got a lot of weight too.
Weight's going to be, the line's not going to be too bad on it. I don't. No.
Oh, you can go back. Yeah. You can see
They'll just blast in on the outturn, come with the heat, hit it anywhere from hit anywhere from a 1/4 inch on the left hand side to crossing it slightly, and you'll get it out. So that's a tough rock for them to jam. They'll have to throw it poorly.
This will be warp factor 2.
What's that?
Warp factor 2 in terms of speed.
I think you can just throw a regular peel at it, put the broom on the edge, and
Fire at it.
I mean, you could overcurl a hair and still make that. So anywhere from a 1/4 of an inch to full rock and then some. So we got a lot of leeway here to get this out.
I'm giving Parker makes this one.
Like you don't need to overthrow it and throw it off. Just make sure you get it out to the broom, and you throw it straight and firmish. That's the word I got from Ian Kerr, who I used to curl with.
Ian Kerr, nice guy.
Yeah. What kind of weight do you want? Firmish. I don't even know if it's a real word. I think if you look it up in the dictionary, I don't think you're going to find it.
No,
it might be in the Newfoundland dictionary.
Maybe Ukrainian.
Firmish.
You're overthinking this, gentlemen. Just smash it.
Just going back down to get some clarification. If he picks it clean, Thomas has to take one. But if he kills it all and rolls away, that's fine too. Thomas will probably take the blank.
Yeah, he will.
And all you do then, from Tipple's point of view, is you just killed an end. Now there's only 3 ends left, and Jeff Thomas has to outscore you by 4 points.
4 points
in 3 ends. So, and if he keeps the hammer, he's only probably, realistically, at most 2 hammers.
That's right.
And he got to outscore you by 5.
You got to outscore you by 5 and hammer
or by 4. Sorry. Yeah. So the odds are not in Thomas's favor right here. Analytics of it, very important.
Analytics. That's why they booed. That's why they booed Jacobs. Analytics said he needed to keep his hammer.
Don't mind being booed. You got the crowd engaged.
They got him in there. I was up in the timers booth when that occurred. Man, the top of mile, Warner Mary Brown certainly holding in a lot of noise.
I've seen a lot of stuff on X where all the teams loved playing here in the Grand Slam. Crowds were good, educated about who was doing what, and lots of applause. And obviously they're going to be very, very pro-Guju, as they should.
As they should be.
But they all loved it, and I think they all had a great time. They would like to play every... A mistake by Parker Tipple.
Yeah.
Got narrow and jammed it, and Thomas will have a free draw for 2.
Wow.
That came out of nowhere, Gary.
I didn't see that coming at all.
That's how easy it can happen in this game.
I think they spent a lot of time
But now,
analyzing a simple shot.
Team Tipple are going to have to regroup after that and say, guys, look, we're still up 1 with the hammer playing the 6th end.
Yeah.
So, and I would expect Jeff to make this. You only got to be a full 12 and then a couple of inches, and he just drew one to the back of the 8 foot.
Yeah, he knows his speed.
So, again, this is the second deuce they would have gotten, and both deuces by the Thomas squad have been skip deuces.
Absolutely. No reason you can't do it. That's why he's paid more than the rest of them.
Now, this one is more of a, the first deuce he got were 2 great shots by Jeff. This one was more of a miscue by Team Tipple, but still regardless.
You got an early Christmas gift on that one.
Absolutely.
You think they spent too much time looking at it, trying to analyze?
Well, there was nothing to look at. It was that you're playing
I know,
takeout.
I know,
And you're
just
trying to hit it on the nose or on the left-hand
Yeah,
side.
with
So
enough
I
speed.
don't know what and there was no guards to worry about.
I know. Just trying to figure it out. I know.
They're
We'll ask him. We'll ask him.
dusting this a bit. So that's the draw for 2 for Thomas. And
They're all day.
after 5 ends, score 5-4 for Tipple over the Thomas squad. And we'll be right back in about 30 seconds or so, folks. And folks, we're back here at the Rick Rowsell Classic 2024 edition. Feature game, Team Tipple, Team Thomas. 5-4 after 5 ends for Tipple, and Tipple has the hammer in the 6th.
Tipple has a hammer in 6 and technically an 8, so that gives him more ability to score more points. So he's in a pretty good spot.
Well,
yeah, Jeff, I'm sure has a different idea right now.
Well, Thomas has to push the envelope. He does not have control of this game. There's only 3 ends left. Tipple just wants to make sure he scores. Worst case, he figures if he scores 1 and 6, Thomas have to go all out for 2 and 7. Tipple would be tied. He would still have the hammer coming
There's
home.
the hammer coming home. Yeah.
So Tipple teams will score in the 6-10 of a close game, tend to win like 75 or 80% of those games.
Yeah,
He just wants to make sure he scores. And if he can pick up a deuce there, that percentage even goes higher.
Like I say to my junior teams, in many tight games, the game comes down to your last 3 ends, 6, 7, and 8. They manage to play. Yeah, a bit of a wiggle there on that one.
I think they're trying to get a little flip inside here. Starting to break here now. Just a little flop and roll on top
that
of
one.
it.
There he goes.
Just trying to get the angles going your way. That's a good shot.
Rocks in play,
Think about
rocks in
it,
front.
if you're a foot heavier, you open it all up.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a good shot. Just like it's not. That's a tough. Well, right now, I don't know if you can get rid of that yellow rock.
I don't think so.
So Thomas is just trying to push the envelope or make it tough for Tipple to score, and he might get lucky and get a steal,
You see,
which is what he's looking for.
oh yeah, Jeff will want to have rocks in play for sure. You wonder, if Spencer leave that yellow guard out there. He doesn't really need it. He's not doing him any favors.
I'm just trying to unlock that and keep it in. It's not a bad shot.
No. Jeff's,
But
for Jeff right now, he's
when
got
I look at this, the danger rock for Tipple is that guard.
he doesn't need it.
So I probably would appeal the guard on that last shot.
I think that.
Jeff wants the guard out there.
Wants the guard out there, and Jeff wants rocks in the ring, so he can lay off, chip off, freeze too, and stuff like that. His game right now is freeze tap draw.
Jeff knows he just got to get the right angle so they can't get everything out in one shot,
right.
which is what he's trying to do. Another big shot here for Dave Daw.
Dave Dawes coming with a bit of
Super Dave Daw.
Super Dave, yeah. He's a fine fella. Boy.
He's got a curl a bit.
Give him a hard time.
I think he's hitting it on the high side, and I think he might have hung it out there a little tiny bit. That's
But still not bad for Jeff right now. Mr. T's got to be concerned.
I still go out and peel that guard.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'd peel it this way.
Yeah.
Slash into the 1 and the 12 foot.
Hope you bang
Gonna
on
get a
with
couple- And even worse, if you hit that and came down,
Yeah.
Jeff can't guard 2 rocks side by side. You can only guard one of them.
it. Yeah. Leaving that guard out there might be a
So-
bit of a troublesome part of this game for Parker at this stage. He doesn't need it, and he's having to contend. He'll end up having to contend with it at some stage. Trying to get shot rocks in.
You don't need to be. It's a good shot, but all of a sudden now there's too many rocks in play for a team that has control of the game in the 6th end.
Absolutely.
In my opinion.
I agree 100%.
But now,
Yeah.
If Jeff makes that, which is a good call, make that double, keep your shooter out in the 12-foot.
Yeah. It's wrong.
Now, Team Tipple's going to have a double coming back or some kind of port maneuver. But you got to, all of a sudden you got Tipple playing tougher shots than just wide open takeouts.
Yeah.
So, which is what Jeff,
It'll
that's
be
what he's trying to
interesting
do here.
It'll be interesting to see if that guard comes into play. 'Cause Jeff, I'd say Jeff's trying to stay away from that now. But the first minute he gets a chance to get one underneath that, he'll put it underneath.
This is a big shot here, though. Lauren Henderson he's tight here.
He's on it.
That's not, doesn't change the
Doesn't
situation
change
much.
much. No.
He was well narrow.
But look at the situation now. I mean, Team
I
Tipple's going to have to try and generate their second point. Right now, it's a lot of yellow rocks around. Nothing's easy.
Oh,
Ooh, I don't know. It can be done. Peel as much of that out of the way as you can. That's better.
yeah, there's multiple options on this shot. I don't know if this is the one I would play or not. I like hitting something.
Or do you take your gamble at some stage and go on the other turn and
No,
try and get another blue
that I
in?
would not do.
Not yet?
No. You're just putting more rocks in play for Thomas to work with. That's not a bad shot.
Yeah.
You got a good result out of it.
Still looking at that yellow and blue.
No,
He's gonna lead, he's gonna
Thomas
lead
may
now.
be drawing here now.
Yeah, it will be a good point in time for him to come in.
It doesn't really matter to me if the blue is second shot. If it is, it's fine. But if it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be,
Yeah. Wide draw now. There he goes. I said it.
Yeah.
The longer that stays out
because
there.
now, well, where it is now, the yellow and blue are staggered. So if
Yeah.
he can get down on the pin, there's no tap up
Hard.
for Tipple.
I said he's going around a rock that's probably
Well, now
should
this
have
is a shot that Lauren Henderson has to make, and it has to be locked down.
the lefty coming across the center. Man.
He was tight on the first one here, so he really needs some redemption. He needs to make this perfect for Thomas to have any attempt at a steal.
He's out there. He's out there. How's his speed? Here it comes.
Loads of curl there.
Yeah, here it comes. Oh, boy, that one.
He's not short.
Oh, baby.
It's heavy.
Yeah, it's close. 1478. It's pretty quick
No.
out there. Yeah. That center line guard will
No,
come
I
into play.
don't. No, well, that's the guard that came around.
That's the one, yeah.
So-
I knew as soon as Jeff had a chance, he'd chase him.
Well, I think it's too late to peel up front now. Now, if
Oh,
they
yeah.
come, if Spencer
can
can put this in top of the 4-foot and like 1, 2, or 1 and 3, Tom's all he got is come down on his
Yeah.
own back one, and
anywhere but deep. Got it going a bit to the outside out of his hand.
you're not touching it.
No, Muscles was ready.
He looks heavy again too.
Trying to carve it.
Well, now
I don't think that's going to happen.
they're just going to leave a pocket now for Jeff to come right down to. Too many rocks in play.
Too many rocks.
All right, so now,
Jeff's got the same shot. Can't leave him
well,
that.
if he gets in there now, they're not getting him out. They're down to skip.
Lauren was 14-7 going down there, and he was heavy. Or he was just a bit into the back, and he was 13-5.
I don't know if the ice is changing and they're not picking it up. They should have draw weight by now. It's a 6 inch.
Yeah. Lauren was not better. Just he got a bit wider. That's all. Clock on this one now. See how Mr. Thomas is going to do. Look over on sheet number 1, provide Mackenzie Mitchell an update on her score review. Huh?
I don't know who's. I
Yeah,
don't know
Simmons.
who's
Simmons
what
was
color.
yellow. I think Simmons was yellow.
It looks like it's 3-2 for
Simmons had
Simmons
three.
after 5. Anyway, we're back to the feature game here, folks, and
And Jeff's coming in there now. This one looks pretty good. They're having a later
Uh,
room to it yet. They're starting to
still
curl.
got to curl a bit. He got to get in under the cover.
Or he's going to come up to that one in the back.
But he wants to roll in a bit. There you go.
See,
It's not a bad shot, but it's still accessible for Parker Tipple to come by and push it back and lie 1-2.
Where he lands after this one is make a big difference to Jeff too. Jeff knows now how to get it in there now.
Well, but if Parker can push this back, you can get to the nose of this, push it straight back 3 or 4 feet.
Yeah.
Because there's enough curl there. And if he does that, and he might even get a little bit of an inside roll. If he does that, Thomas is not going to have much of a shot because he's in front of the tee line.
Yeah. Be interesting to see his release there now. See how he gets it going. Yeah, it leaves his hand. Well up there. Oh, showing it up a bit. Murphy's on it.
He's not inside of it.
No, he's not inside of it by a long way.
He's not even close.
No, he's going to go by it probably.
Not a good shot.
Not a good shot at all.
Too much weight for one.
14.
So now if Jeff can come down and freeze on his own, covered, again, what rock are they coming around?
I know.
And I mentioned that when the seconds were shooting.
I know.
He should go up and peel it.
Peel that out of the way.
Because that
in
was
the
the
way.
danger rock.
It's in the way, yeah. Jeff used it to his benefit.
And so
The minute he had a miss, he went around it.
that call not to peel that when they had the chance is coming back to haunt them.
You could have, like I said, they could have cleaned up the whole side of the house. Now they're over here playing on that guard. Be interesting to see now if Jeff gets inside of this again. Makes it like real interesting. Entertaining to watch.
Well,
Was it wisdom?
for a team with
Wisdom.
control of the game, up 1 with total control, and in the 6th end, and they got in this mess. I mean, there's 10 rocks in play. And, really, you want to have no more than 1 or 2 in play.
When Jeff debriefs this game with the boys, he'll probably talk about that.
Anyway, the coach knew what was going on,
Oh yeah,
and he's flogged it for all he's worth out there.
he'll lay it in on him and say, "Look at this, boys." Well, he might be a little shortish on this one, or he's just trying to straight guard up.
Well, he's probably happy with a steal of 1.
Oh, they all fail.
No.
Now, like, it's interesting.
They can't raise the yellow because you hit it wrong and give up a couple.
Yeah. Just might have to take your licks on this one. Get out of here.
I don't know what else they got.
Not last.
Just
That's our Trevor Bartlett's over there taking care of the other team. The thing came up on its own.
and I don't think they got.
They got you in jail, boys, on both sides. Anything you do now could cause you more harm.
The only thing what Hatcher just said is the only shot I think they got possibly to score.
The blue.
Just a redirect on that blue guard onto the one in the 8th.
Yeah, come in the inside of it, yeah.
That's
Come to
I
the
don't
inside.
I don't see anything else. You almost got to play to miss it. You're only looking at a redirect.
Come off it just the hair and then sideways, yeah.
You can't hurt yourself.
We say that many times, so it looks sometimes you can too.
Well, I don't think the situation allows you to hurt yourself here.
Go over the top a little bit and might send
Nah.
it into that.
I think it's worth the risk.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I don't
Nine
think you can
for
do
one.
much damage. You make it, you can get 1, potentially 2, but you stop them from getting the steal.
Yeah.
So even if you get 1 is good. But this looks to me like it's going to be a better than even chance of a steal.
Jeff is certainly making them work hard for their points, that's for sure.
Parker's getting ready to throw. They just got to do a redirect on that blue one. See how close. If he makes it, it'll be a pistol.
Oh, it'd be a dandy, yeah. Look,
But,
they can get that yellow can go flying. Big thing is here now, just release it properly and let the rest of it take care of itself. Don't try and steer it onto one of those rocks.
Here we go.
He might have got it in a
Trying to get
I
it
think
to
he
Kurt.
got
No,
it. I think
must
he
be
got
close.
it. I think he got it in a bit.
Got to be close. No. Steal of one
Steal
for
of one.
Jeff Thomas in the sixth end. To bring this game all square. And we're going to take a small break here, get a cross country up. Check up from Gary Ryan, and we'll be back in a minute or so.
Bracket out there.
And folks, we're back, bringing you action from the 2024 edition of the Rick Rowsell Classic and our feature game, Team Tipple versus Team Thomas. We're about to pick up action here now in the seventh end, and the score is all square at 5 aside. And last rock this end belongs to Spencer or Parker
Parker
Tipple.
Tipple. Well, I'll give you the cross-country update there now, Mark, from sheets 1. It's 4-2 for Simmons over Gretton after 6. Is 6-1 for Smith over Perry, and there was handshakes on sheet number 2. Currently 4-3 for Nathan Young over Evan Kearley. They're playing 7. And then sheet 6 right here in front of us is 3-2 for Pettigrew over Feltham, and they're playing in number 6 right now.
Pettigrew might have pedigree, but his name is Pettigrew.
He had a pedigree somewhere. I'll give him a pedigree. Pedigree and something. Just being on the radio is a hard racket. Not perfect.
So we got a few rocks in play here, Gary. And
There will be a score again, most
Thomas still
likely.
got shot rock behind a couple of guards. So Thomas this end, he'd be satisfied with forcing Tipple to 1.
Well,
He'd
he'd be,
have the hammer coming home. And if he steals, so be it.
I would say there'd
He'll
be
be
some.
up one coming home.
Won't get booed in this building, but anyway.
So for 5 ends, it was all Tipple. Now at the 6th end, it went the other way, and Thomas is, for the last end and a bit, is being coming on hard and putting a lot of pressure back into Tipple squad, and now the game is tied, playing 7.
We're in a good situation here. The Rock is ahead of the T line, two blues behind the T line to help them stay in put, and then 2 guards and another one coming. But it's going to be an interesting road to see how they finish this up here now. Over curl.
So Tipple he's got to try to open up something.
You got to get some stuff moving, yeah.
Slash the blue one guard across the yellow, bring it back down. You could get lucky and get all the yellows, but
You could.
you could double jam it also at the same time. But you got to do something to try to change the
You got to get in.
situation here.
You got to clean up this front.
Looks to me like it might have to curl, trying to bend it. Not getting enough out of that. You got to at least hit the second rack in that situation.
Yeah, they always tend to try extra weight when they don't.
Well, they
really
play
need it.
extra weight, but I don't know if he's icing him for the extra weight.
Probably,
He's icing him
probably.
maybe for something, but less
A little
weight, so
less,
it curl,
yeah.
and then you up your weight, and now the ice is wrong,
That's right.
even if you hit the room.
It's
so-
flying by, yeah. Now, where does Jeff put this one?
Jeff's going to put, I'd say right now, there's not much on the in-turn side. I'd say you block off on the out-turn. Yeah, put another guard out there. Jeff's happy if Tipple takes 1.
Oh, he'd give him one to play next end. Be an interesting finish if it ends up that way. It's fun to watch how Jeff finishes off the 8th end down by 1. You laid it out a bit wider, Jeff. Aren't you?
Owen Henderson try to play the guard here.
If I just stop watching, you and I were in Fort McMurray.
Anyway, Gary, I got to say thanks for helping me out this morning and coming into the broadcast.
My absolute pleasure.
Our original broadcaster got a touch of the flu, or not a touch, he thinks he got the flu. And he never wanted to come and spread his germs to the rest of us in the Remax Center. And I applaud him for his decision.
He's a very wise man. I think that man was known to be a curler as well.
Well, at least in his own mind.
Legendary. He's still on the wall down at the Irving on Torbay Road,
There you go.
right? That was Rob, I'm assuming we're talking about. Yeah. You ever see that down? Irving on Torbay Road, they got a picture of Gary Tiller, Jeff Cunningham, and Rob playing a rock down
In the store.
in the store.
Oh, go on.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Up on walk in after you get your gas, look straight across. Yeah, was.
I don't. Does Rob know that?
I don't know. It's there.
The one the picture of him sweeping.
Yeah, with that crooked broom. I
Oh,
think.
with the crooked broom.
Yeah.
Well, the crooked broom. You think about it. Your natural wrist position, and most people hold a broom, and your wrist is bent. That puts your wrist in a neutral position, so it doesn't put any pressure on your joints or tendons there,
You would think.
and you can still get your full arm pressure
You
down.
would think. Yeah, you would think to be more of that hard line has changed the way everybody sweeps.
Because he made that, he got it manufactured in the shop he was at.
Oh, that's a custom.
Yeah.
Oh,
He never bought it. He made it,
oh, okay.
and it weighs a ton. It's metal. Like now, it would be done with carbon fiber
Carbon
or
fiber.
whatever, and
You know, if you bent, I suppose you could.
lightweight, but it weighs a ton. And he used to have a hair head
Yeah.
in it years ago. It made it even heavier because the head alone was 5 pounds.
And next time I'm in that Irving station, I'll look for it and I'll take a picture. Oh, coming in on 6. Mr. Tipple is trying to figure out a way in here now to get at the wall. They built the wall pretty good. Donald Trump will be happy. Wall seems to be
Tipple's
intact.
got to try to open up something here.
Build that wall.
They got not much to work with here in the rings.
It's getting slim.
This is a big shot for the Tipple squad here. They need to get
Oh yeah.
some granite moving.
Dennis on his way. Murphy's on it, and oh baby,
That's better than it was.
much
They
better than it
opened up
was.
that whole side of the sheet.
Yeah, and Jeff can't hide it all there
So
now.
where those 2 guards left are in a row.
Yeah,
Effectively, there's just 1 guard there.
that's right. Now Jeff's only got 1 shot left there now.
So he's going to come down to.
Lay it on, freeze it right onto his own.
Well, you could drop it into 12-foot also,
You could.
or
Or
maybe the
opposite.
8-foot. You don't want Tipple to come around and freeze to it. Then makes your shot tough. But if you come down full 8-foot,
Well, he would just
well, the
underneath
thing
the
about
real-
it, you don't want to come too close because he's going to take a run at it. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
hit it just in the sweet spot. You could double, if he's too tight, double the yellows out and leave blue with 2. So
the yellow blue.
I think if
pretty
you come
close.
down to the 12-foot right in front, you're going to see Tipple take a run at it. If I had to put money on that,
If he gives him one, he's still got hammer coming home and in.
that was a good shot. That opened up that whole side of the sheet.
Make it easier for him.
Well, they've been all in trying to do that, and finally they got it done now.
Yeah.
So I don't like the chance that Tipple's going to hang 2 here. I think there's a better than even chance. Well, probably 50-50. Thomas gets 1 or Tipple gets 1.
We're going to go down that road. And pretty good odds. Math works. Curling a bit. They're going to leave a high guard there and say you can have your point. Parker."
Well, that's going to overcurl too because
Yeah.
all the finish is late here.
He's letting Parker have his point now. He's saying you draw down and get your point.
Well, I wouldn't peel the guard now. Now I'd sit on it, and then let Jeff worry about it. I don't think peeling
Feeling
doesn't get you anywhere.
No, right now, because he's going to put it back there and you got to play with it. You got a chance to get in and out, over curl a bit on him. Right about Tipple. You got to get into the top 4 there now, or just outcounted. Outcounted for shot rock.
I'd say you play a freeze right on us. Going to get a time, Gary? And
We're going to get a time on it.
Yeah.
Fresh battery in this year. First one I've had in it in about 6 years.
So, big shot here for Tipple.
Did you get it out a bit?
You can't be heavy and go by.
No, that'll be
have an opportunity
dead.
for.
Represented there now.
It's got a curl.
He's got a curl.
Yeah, it's got a curl a lot. He's heavy. He's just heavy. Straight heavy.
He's going to go straight by it.
No.
I'm going to make it better.
Well, that was his last rock.
That was his last
Okay,
rock.
so steal of one.
1369.
Steal of one for Thomas. So Jeff Thomas will take a 1-point lead into the last end. Big turnaround the last couple of ends, Gary, in this game.
It'll be fun to watch.
Anyway, we'll take a short break again and we'll be right back.
Welcome back.
Okay, folks, we're back on the line here. Last end in a key matchup between Jeff Thomas foursome and the
Teacher,
Parker Tipple squad.
the teacher and the students.
Teacher and the student. So it's right now 6-5 for Thomas in the last end. Team Tipple has the hammer. Team Tipple did have control of this game completely 2 ends ago. But the last couple of ends, the Thomas squad put a lot of pressure on Tipple, and they fought back to take a 1-point lead going into the last end. So now they got a rock and top to forfeit, which was a perfectly placed first stone by Rob Henderson. Now they're playing a tight guard on it. Tipples were up the corner guard. It's all so far the same.
All
Everything is
textbook.
pretty much textbook stuff, Gary.
I think so.
This guard, the line looks pretty good here coming in over the hog line.
Tactics being
Don't
deployed.
want
Or
it too deep though. Don't want it in.
center line.
2 beauty shots by Rob Henderson, as you should in the 8th end, playing lead. He got his draw weight down. He was heavy a little early in the game, but he seems to have found the mark in the last end here. Sign of a good player.
Yeah, he's a really good player, actually. Be able to place the 2 of them there just like that now. Muscles working.
Yeah, I was informed earlier that a couple of guys on Team Thomas have been hitting the gym pretty hard. But then I also heard that Jeff Thomas has taken up sewing and cross stitch, so you never know.
We got more audience than we know.
Another text from a viewing
From a
member.
viewing member, yeah. I expect we have I expect we have some fans from Team Thomas online. And that's what I'm hearing so far.
Well, if you're Team Thomas fans, somebody should talk to Jeff about taking up sewing and cross stitch. Maybe he can get a few coupons for Fabricville. Who knows?
Or take up quilting.
Take up quilting.
Apparently, Mrs. Dodd, the great Dave Dodd's wife, is a good quilter. That's probably where some of my message is coming.
I still have a hard time. I don't know what possessed Jeff to take up sewing and cross stitch late in life. So maybe, he was looking, his life was too boring. He needed something to do. But they have a cackle of grandkids, so I think that would keep him busy.
Keep him busy. Our fans are chiming in fast and furious. Spatchy is online.
Spatchy's online.
I'm sure she's being entertained. And we're getting rid of some rocks.
Well, I think they wanted to hit that on the other side.
Yeah, they would like to get rid
Too many guards up front.
Yeah, getting tangly now.
Tipple needs to hang a deuce here to win the game, and right now the way the rocks are lined up.
Mr. Thomas is just going to keep putting them out there.
Yep. And now what it does is it's going to shrink the scoring area for Tipple in a big way. Well, and the key to this was the very first rock at the end, top 4 foot, absolutely perfectly placed by Rob Henderson.
Yeah, and the
If
second
it's
one,
further out, it changes the dynamic. If it's right on the pin, it changes the dynamic. Right where it is is the perfect spot.
If he touches it, he's running from holding it further. Dave Dawes, rock is underway. Looks like he's going to be in the right spot. And then more peeling will occur. Hopefully, if our fans are home now, my lunch will be ready when I get home.
Can I come with you?
Yes, come on.
Sure, I'll make another sandwich.
Leftover stew today.
What's that?
Leftover stew.
Leftover stew. Okay.
Give it a while.
Give it a reheat. Now, are you going to get more than one here?
One. Oh, and not
Now,
much change.
weren't far off making a beauty, and instead, the situation really hasn't changed. What's changed is where that rock rolled, it might cut off the draw access and the in-turn, because it's right in that path.
And now Jeff will put another one there.
And so it hasn't changed. So right now,
Interesting to see
Tipple's
here.
got to make sure he got a way in to get one.
Oh, yeah. Right now he doesn't have that.
Right now, people that are watching, you are seeing a classic case of the last two ends in this end of the classic bob and weave.
Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali. Is it?
It's a classic case of where old age and treachery will overcome youth and enthusiasm every single time.
Yeah, give him a head start and then reel him back.
Yeah,
If
Team Thomas can hang on and get a win in this game, when he goes to shake Parker Tipple's hand, he'll say, "Thanks for coming out, boys."
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Hope you learned something today.
Yeah.
That's what they do. That's what they call it. We give it a master class.
Master class. Anyway, they need to make this double here now. They haven't managed to get that double run back yet. And if you make it on the way, because of the way angles work, you could get lucky and get that rock out to 4 foot.
Better speed.
Even if you nose the one in the 4 foot, you're a foot farther out, so it opens up the scoring area a small bit. Going to be close.
Great peel and plugged it.
No.
Getting more troublesome now.
Oh,
Jeff, where do you put it down?
Tipple's going to have a hard time getting in here.
I would say just lay it just over the hog line and build that wall.
I think if you're Jeff here now, I like the out-turn draw through the hole to the edge of the 1 foot, or even to the top of the 4 foot.
Yeah.
Tipple's going to have to go up and open up the front. Jeff puts the guard back, and then, well, if they can get a rock into the top, just bite the 4 foot on that out turn.
You're coming this way.
Yeah. I don't think you need a guard. I think if you run it in, put it right into the 4 foot.
Even like I said, even if he stays in front of someone.
Well, you can drop it short, but I think if he,
I don't think he can get in there. Like,
I
all the
think
guards
you
are
give him
lined
the
up.
in-turn draw, because what's going to happen, he's not going to get by to rock in top of the
No,
4
that's
foot.
right. That's right.
But if he can come in on the out turn and just come down side by side on that yellow,
Yeah.
he can't even draw on the out turn.
No, you got nothing.
So he got no way to get in. If you're Tipple, he got to get access. He's got to make a open up, and one peel now is not going to be enough to do it. He's got to get rid of 2 of those guards up front.
Yeah, he's got to get a heater down there to blow it all apart, blow it up. He could blow up those two in the center and probably get a spinner going. Hopefully,
You might drive the middle one down off the yellow. You're going to have to catch your break here somewhere.
get your spinner going.
Jeff's playing through the hole. If he can get through, it's good. The line looks pretty good.
Yeah,
All about the weight now.
I think you might have played Jeff Thomas before. I understand what he was thinking.
Don't want to come heavy. Don't want to come heavy. Just T-line. That does the trick.
Yeah, it does the job.
So right now, that
Can't hit it. You
situation,
can't hit it. Be shot.
Team Tipple has no way to get to the 4 foot. They got 3 rocks left, and he needs a deuce to win.
Good call.
I'd say he got a less than 50% chance now of getting 1 the way they're lined up. They need a big shot here. Now, you could run this back on the nose and nut 2 of them, and you're buried.
Well, yeah, and you're
Tough shot. This is what the kind of shot he needs to win this game now from Spencer. Big time shot required.
Is he a big game player?
Forget trying to peel the guards. You need to run back. And the crowd waits in silence, in great anticipation. Rock is on its way.
He didn't know what's wrong. You don't like the body language, I'm thinking.
Oh, we got a break.
Oh, we got one on. And he got a bit of opener, too. So.
I see Jeff, if you're just playing a guard. Jeff knows he got no way to get in. Yep.
Yeah, right there where Lauren's indicating, yeah.
If Jeff guards, if all Tipple got is to come off the blue one, he got to make an angle raise, and he got to double the 2 yellows
You gotta
out of
double
the
the
4
two.
foot and stay there.
Yeah.
Not easy
No, there.
because of the way the rocks are lined up.
Yeah, you could roll one off the top of the when he gets up there.
I say you
I
play
wonder,
guard.
that one here, he had it a foot higher with that last one he put there. Then he did doubles there.
Well, if you're using your shooter to come off the blue one,
Yeah.
to make the double, you got to hit the low one first,
one
which
first
means
and
your
over.
shooter's coming up.
Yeah.
So even if you get him out the 4 foot, your shooter's going to spin
Spin
up.
forward too.
So really tough shot to get 1, if that's all he got left. So Jeff played a guard. No, I don't
Down
think
to center line. I would say a full rock on the left of the center line would be.
you want to just touch the center line. You take away.
Yeah, you want to take away or let him have access.
I mean, you can be a couple inches off the center line.
Yeah.
So you cover. He can't come in off the yellow one back on the left hand side,
Covering
and he can't got no access to the shot rock or the second shot in the top in the center line. The entire situation here favors Jeff Thomas.
Oh,
The way the
yeah.
rocks are just lined up.
Current state, Parker, he needs to have a good first rock, whatever he can make move.
Well, in Tipple's defense, they tried to open it up, and they just never made that double.
Never get 'em
the
on.
double peel. They either would nut it on the second one, or they'd roll the wrong way, and they got dug a hole they got into. So, Thomas needs to make the guard here. 4 or 2 feet in front of the house is what he needs. No, you don't need it any deeper.
Should be close. The Crews come back and shoot 6 against the Crew from Gander.
The crew from Gander.
sheet number 1 over there. Grattan has our from our number 1 fan.
They got nothing posted. The game looks like the game's over. Harold's over there.
That leads me to think that Simmons probably won that. Oh, something strange happened. Here comes your rock. A bit deeper than Jeff might want, you think?
That's a little deep.
Now he's got to be coming off that blue. You got a place to stop anyway.
So, what does Tipple do? He's trying to give himself a chance to have a crack at 2. If you double out the 2 yellows in the middle, you're going to lose your shooter.
Not the one. You hit this one right on the nose.
Well, then Jeff can just come down and hit it.
Smack it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind him peeling that guard out of the way.
I don't think that's going to do anything for him either.
Then
Then Jeff just puts a guard on the one he just put there. He's lying 3.
Yeah.
Tipple he's still got no way to get in.
He only got 1 shot to do it with, yeah.
So I don't think that's going to do anything for him.
Unless you run that blue straight back. Hope for something there.
Well,
Is he leaving this for his last shot? The
Well,
blue one hanging off the 12.
I don't know.
Even that as a Hail Mary on his last
Well,
attempt.
How about if Spencer comes down and the one is open on the left-hand side, just squeaks by the top yellow and rolls in.
Rolls in and pops
He
that
might
over
even be able
sideways.
to push the other yellow one a couple of inches.
Yeah.
So then Jeff comes down, peels it out.
Yeah.
So he's left lying 2. If that second yellow is moved over a couple of inches, you think a double could be there with lightweight? Like a hat weight double?
Yeah. You can probably kick it out of there.
I don't know. You're trying to scramble now.
Yeah.
But at least then you would have you would be able to
He's
draw.
looking-
At least then you have a draw for 1 on the outturn.
He's looking at that runner.
That rock there now is not letting them draw for 1. So if you replace that, you might have a shot.
I think he's made up his mind on the run.
These guys like these shots. I don't even know. I don't know if it's the right call or not.
They practice them. I see him practicing. They do practice the run back. Big key is speed
Thing
and
about
release.
if you to make this work for you, the rock you're hitting has to stay in the rings.
Yes. Okay, you want to find out now in a second?
It's a high risk, but it's a high reward shot. Make a double, and you're all of a sudden then you're lying 2nd and 3rd, so it makes it a bit more difficult for Thomas.
Yeah.
But what it does is it ensures on his last rock he might have a shot.
He's wide with it.
Too thin. Okay.
All right. Where do you put your next rock? Guard. Guard of. What do you think?
The rock that was there,
Yeah.
I like putting it back in the same spot.
Yeah, you could. Could you pop your yellows a bit deeper?
Well, you'd have to get an angle on the front one so it doesn't have any kind of triple. You could do that too.
That'd be right nose.
Jeff has the reason Jeff's not looking at the blue one, because right now, the way they're lined up, he has a chance to win the game.
Yeah.
Steal a point and win. If you play the hit and roll, if you don't make the roll, you just hit. It's still a tough double. To make the double and keep your shooter.
Yeah.
I mean, that can work on a number of levels, and then even if he gets 1, you got the hammer in the extra end.
Yeah.
So this was part of the easier or the safest shot to play.
Yeah, it is hard.
I'm not saying everybody would do this, but there's,
But you're going to force whatever way it is.
if he can hit and roll this into the middle,
Yeah.
it's very advantageous for him.
Parker's not going to have an easy shot. He might have something.
Well, if he rolls this into the 12-foot, it makes Tipple's double that much tougher if he takes it on. If he rolls it in to where the X is, XR,
Yeah.
okay, so Tipple's got to get 1 to top. There's no winning shot.
No.
So
He needs full
He might not be
forward.
able to make the double and hold a shooter, so he got to draw to the edge of the 4 foot here
Yeah.
because he got nothing on the outturn side. So
Jeff is taking his
this
time.
is,
You're going to find out now, or Jeff?
you can roll a 1.5 feet here. It's a game-winning shot, if you're asking me.
He's on the nose of it. Just
Roll.
roll. Yeah.
Perfect.
I think that's where you wanted to put, didn't it?
Now.
Could have laid it there any better.
There's no hit that he got to draw.
You got to draw.
There's no hit available
No.
that you can get one here.
No, you got to draw. And he needs a large part of the red circle when it tie his game.
Well, the draw is there,
Oh yes, absolutely.
and I don't think it's there on the in-turn. You got to play it wide on the
You
out-turn.
got to play it wide on the out. Yeah.
There's no takeout. They should be able to look at that now and recognize there's no hit available.
No.
So,
No, there's no hitting. You got to draw.
well, I said a couple before Jeff shot that, if you can roll to the XR, which
I know.
he did,
You could have laid it any better.
there's
You are a wise man.
lucky too.
Sometimes that goes a long way.
Goes a long way. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than
I
good.
know, absolutely. Lucky wins games.
Well, this is a makeable shot, and with the sweepers he got, with Muscles Murphy
Austin Murphy's available to move
and
around.
Hatcher on the front end pounding the brooms, makeable shot.
Careful
And
not
you
to
gotta get a half rack into the 4 foot. So the boys, they got to drop it on with the curl at the end. They got to drop it on the tee line,
Yeah, it can be done.
and you got to make sure you got enough ice that you don't bring that yellow guard into play. You don't have to be that tight to that to make the shot. As long as the sweepers can drop it on the tee line, you can get by that rock by 6 or 7 inches, maybe a hair more than that, and still make that draw.
What do you think? They're off and around it.
His line looks okay.
Weight seems to be okay.
He looks heavy.
15,
He looks heavy.
15-2. I don't think he's heavy.
No. Nice shot.
Yeah, there you go.
Pistol draw by the skipper.
And we're going to an extra.
Yep. Parker Tipple, and we're going to an extra end, ladies and gentlemen.
15-18.
We'll be back in 30 or 40 seconds or a minute and carry on with the extra end.
And we're back. We've just been referred to as the two old fellas from the Muppets sitting in the high
Waldorf
balcony.
and who's the other guy?
Statler and Waldorf. I
Statler
don't
and
know.
Waldorf. Yeah. God help us if that's what we're doing.
I know. But apparently we do have a large fan base watching us today, or watching the game and listening to us.
Now, when we say large, that implies there might be double digits in people.
Oh, we might have a double-digit day today. Sure, now that the word is spread across the nation like wildfire that we're here doing this today. And you know, that for the level of pearl, the amount of pearls that can fall out of your mouth, I'm just in awe.
So we're hearing the extra in now. Jeff Thomas has, for a team that looked to be down and out after the 15th, and now they're tied and they have to hammer in the extra.
And he won't leave
It's
that
a pretty
garden.
good comeback. Now,
He
we
won't
talked
leave
about peeling those guards early in the
Yeah,
end.
that's right.
Jeff is not wasting any time. He knows what that's the problem is in that guard.
He knows that's his trouble, yeah. He wants that out of there. He might have a good afternoon.
What's that?
He might have a good afternoon doing his needlepoint today. If
He
this
might
game
be
works out
pretty
for him.
happy with the needle point today. And the
Yeah.
cross stitch, you might get something done.
I know, right?
Nice peel by Dave, Super Dave Dahl.
Super Dave Dye.
Like I mentioned earlier, heard lately that a couple of guys on Team Thomas are hitting the gym pretty hard, and then you got Jeff getting into the knitting and the cross stitch. So
I know it's pretty incredible to see the performance today.
Somebody said his wife Candy gives him coupons for Fabricville.
Is that right?
So yeah, that's the word on the
Okay.
street.
All right. I'm expecting Super Dave Dawes to be quilting pretty soon. His wife is an accomplished quilter. Janice does good, pretty good work. Young Hatcher trying to put his guard back in place.
Well, Tipple, usually if you steal, you got to guard up. Or multiple
Hopefully,
guards. So
I'm watching this game. I'm hoping that Candy might be watching, because if we say nice things about Team Thomas, we might get a piece of cake later today.
we might.
You know?
Whose birthday is it?
Nobody's, just Christmas.
Oh, Christmas cake. There you go.
Huh?
Does it come with sprinkles?
I'm sure if we
Sprinkles
had-
are important. It
I'm
elevates
sure-
the cake to a whole new level.
I'm sure
of
if we put that word out
sophistication.
there, I'm sure if we put that out there to
We'll lay that out there, Gary.
the
See what
lovely
happens.
Miss Thomas, she'd
We lay cake with sprinkles.
cake with sprinkles.
And we're
And it is
at the
Friday.
Remax Center.
Know where to find us.
You know where to find us.
Yeah, look up in the balcony. All two old fellas.
Anyway, Thomas has gone back out to peel at this center guard that Team Tipple just put up.
Feel that guard.
Another peel required by Super Dave Dahl. Just made the first one look pretty easy.
Look at him. Looks not even just like a shot out of a gun, catapult.
You got Rob Henderson working on it hard.
That Jim on that Orange Theory is doing him a favor. Oh, there it goes. That's all he wanted.
Peel required. Peel done.
You know, we got left going here. How many rocks left for who?
So that's the end of the. We're into the second half of the end here now.
Yeah. Spencer's
So now you
getting
got
ready to throw
Spencer
in.
Tipple having his first shot. Okay, we got the attention of the certain people in the viewing audience, and apparently Jeff cooks a mean ribeye.
Yeah, apparently
But
though.
Candy, we are looking for cake with sprinkles. And if you got any coupons for Fabricville, pass them along. We'll pass them along to your husband.
That's right. We poked the bear. Not true on the cross stitch. I think if Mark knows what he says, it must be true in some way, shape, or form.
I would think it's 100% accurate.
I think it's accuracy there.
I don't deal in fallacy. I deal in hard truth, investigative.
And I've heard Jeff when he cooks his ribeyes, it's pretty offended when people look for the well-cooked parts.
Oh, okay.
When
When you cook a steak, if you're going to cook it well, it's a waste of good meat.
I know there's certain people might argue with you on it.
Now, Jeff wasn't always a meat eater. He was big into the Chinese food so much when he was younger. We used to call him Song-hee because that's where he went every day. Song-hee up on Empire Avenue.
Oh, here comes one, and here comes two, and that's going out, and that's going out. Well, look at the power on the brush.
That's a good shot. So that rings are looking a lot cleaner now for
Getting
Team
cleaner
Thomas
and
here.
Cleaner and cleaner. Oh, Shot missed, I think. The crowd made a ooh.
Well, it sounded like somebody just died on a 6 with all the crowd fans going crazy.
Ooh.
Anyway, we're back here on our feature game. And
guards
Tipple
in the
is trying to play a
guard.
guard, but it looks like it's going to come a little deep one.
I think today they've been deep on a couple of shots at the wrong time.
Well, I think he can double them out.
I think they're gone, yeah. Absolutely.
Got to come with the heater.
Yeah, and if the yellow one goes with it, so be it, then you got to
Yeah,
clean
well,
house.
if you kick the yellow one out also,
Yeah,
it's
clean,
fine.
you got a clean house. He needs 1 point.
I think if you come with the heater, they can all go. But now you got to get a good chunk of the top one. If you hit it too thin, you're going to put the second yellow or second blue over on the yellow and leave it there.
Yeah.
I think it's worth the shot to get them all going.
He's thinking about coming around it all now. That's a bit of a stagger in front of that.
No, I don't like that.
I wouldn't think he'd come in yet. No, you got to get rid of them.
Now you can try to hit the top one over the top of the second one too. That's a harder shot, but
Game is over on sheet 6, with the winner being.
I'm not sure there was oohs and ahs going. Not sure who won.
We're gonna find out. Down, okay. Team Pettigrew won.
Anyway,
Team Pettigrew won.
Thomas is going to take it on the high side here, so we'll see what's going to happen.
Lauren is coming. Full speed.
This looks, or maybe he's just trying to pick it clean. Not going to make the double
They're
here.
not gonna make the double. He's only gonna get the top one. Ooh, that would have been a bad. Slam it in a bit thin.
Well, there's no guards up front, so it's all pretty positive for Team Thomas here right now.
Tough shot here now. Just try and tap it on forward. He could probably draw around. It would have been neat. He just try and tap it versus draw around.
I like the guard. I think you play another guard.
You got to play another guard.
You come in on the ring, sure.
If you
Everything is
just,
in close proximity. Thomas makes a double, you're done. You got nothing to hide behind
no, you got nothing.
and nothing to free suit, and you play a guard.
Put the guard up there now. Jeff fields it or Jeff goes around. What do you think?
Well, that depends where the guard is exactly. And I don't like putting the guard on this one. I put it right on the center line and cover the button.
Over the other side.
Then he might peel it straight. You can come around the blue when you got,
Yeah.
or you can hit the light 2 and let him draw the 4-foot, or tap your own up. But if you put it, if he goes after it, he might slash it this way. He could double jam it also. So I would not expect him to do that. I expect him to pick it clean. And then you can come around or tap your own up.
I'm not seeing much curl happening here in this one. Comes.
Get it right to
16.
the center line, guys. Guard to 1 foot. There you go. Yeah. I think that's the perfect spot.
Now decision time.
Now, if he makes the double and rolls away, so be it. He'll end up winning the game.
Yeah.
But if he jams it, double jams, picks his own, there's
So what do you?
multiple ways this can work out. You might just pick it clean,
Yeah.
hit it on the left-hand side, and knock it to the right. In which case, then there's a come around or a tap up for Tipple.
I think if you try to run it in, you get the danger of jamming it into the yellow. I think that's what he's looking at, though. Straight back.
No, I think he's trying to slash it over the top and roll the shoe.
Roller this way, that way.
But if he's tight and he hits it straight back,
We need the telestrator to be able to.
we need to tell us.
be able to show the fans at home our
We'll have to do a
wisdom.
little budget and put it in for
Put
next
it
week.
in for the budget, yeah. We need a little marker. We able to make the crowd on TV. Be able to show you what we're thinking. There's a lot of
Then they see what Statler and Waldorf can really do.
really what our capabilities really are.
Well, I think now we got stew on at one house, and we got somebody making a cake
And
at
we got
another
cake.
one.
We got cake.
And we
going.
might have potential ribeye steak.
And a ribeye. That's right. We probably got to say good things about Jeff Thomas now and say he's probably going to make this shot.
Especially now that he has his wife listening. We can't be too hard on him.
No, can't be too hard on him.
We already called him Song He and Jade already today. I've known Jeff a long time.
And something's about to happen here now. He's coming. So
Big shot here,
rocks are going to roll. Rocks are going to roll. I like that one.
Rocks are going to roll. Well, you know when they're sweeping, they got to be.
Look at the power, Dave Daw. All right.
We should have let it come up a bit. They would have got the red. You know. Anyway, that's
All
fine.
right. Yeah, that's fine. Front is clear. Wherever
No.
Parker ends up now, Jeff will have a clear shot at it.
Well, if he decides to play the hit on the yellow one, and he hits it right on the nose,
Jeff will hit him and roll to the center.
well, there's no margin for error. I would draw.
No, he draw.
Draw the 4-foot.
Touch it.
Now, you
Spencer
really want to
second
put the
draw.
squeeze here on the opposition.
Uh,
Play a hat weight shot. Hit about 3/4 of the top blue. When you roll 1.5 feet, you push the yellow out and you roll back into the back of the box.
oh, yeah. Give him something to think about. What's he thinking here?
I think he's just trying to hit the yellow here, maybe
Hit the
roll a
yellow.
little bit inside.
Hit the
So
yellow.
then Jeff can play the double to win or draw the 4-foot. But even if he hits it on the nose, there's no margin of error for Thomas. So I think
No.
if he noses it, I think you're going to see Jeff draw.
Be a fun one to watch. That'd be one for the ribeye.
Well, for a game that started at noon, we're 5-3.
And into the curling.
All we can say is these men aren't quick.
Everybody else is down.
Like watching paint dry.
Those happen sooner or later. It will finish.
He needs a good shocker.
A bit whitish to me.
Well, you can't roll wide.
Oh, no, it looks a bit wide. Stay right there.
Okay, I think Jeff has. I think you're going to see him draw. There's no margin of error there. You might have to roll inside even.
It's not thrown,
Draw.
but yeah, you're
He
gonna
knows
draw
what
it.
Jeff knows what the shot is.
Yeah. All right, we'll get the clock
I
on
would
this
have had the
one.
broom put down and be down and throw it heavy by now.
Oh yes, and I would have missed it long ago.
Right. Draw to the
All about your pulse.
4-foot for the old guy to win the game, and
There you
then
go.
shake hands with the young fellas and say thanks for coming out.
Thanks for
boys."
coming out, boys. Yeah,
But now
it's been fun.
they were down and almost out of this game, and they got a break from Parker Tipple or Spencer Tipple when he jammed it and Jeff got his 2,
Yeah.
and then they stole one.
Oh,
Then they stole one again, forced him to 1, and tied the game up and had to hammer it. So you got to give the old guys here, Team Thomas, a lot of credit for not letting it get away
They hung in.
and pushing it. They played much better in the second half.
They did 100%. See how that feels now, Jeff. On his way, clock is ticking. Dave Dawes on the broom. Victor well by the guards. Dave Dawes off the broom.
You know, they've got some legs.
14-21.
They've got some legs.
It should grind in.
They overslept it. They overslept it.
Oh, no. Oh, that's too bad.
And Tipple steals the victory.
Out from the grass, out from the grass. Holy crap.
Anyway, folks, that's a wrap for this afternoon's game. Team
see you
Tipple
later.
7, Team Thomas 6. Don't forget to tune in for the next round of games that will be starting in, I think,
1 hour.
1 hour. 4 o'clock is the next draw. And I won't be back, myself and Gary, till tomorrow. So we'll have new announcers tonight.
Yes,
Hope you enjoy them as much as you enjoyed us. Thank you very much, folks, and good night or good afternoon.
Good day.